Hello and welcome to an unboxing video. So today I want to continue my Ajmal exploration. So last time I tried this one on along with Amir 1 and Amir 2, and I since worn this one on skin and was quite impressed. So I thought for the price this is a really good reference oud fragrance to have, because it's not just an oud, it's a fully composed perfume. And it has these very traditionally fermented Indian oud qualities, but there's a certain smoothness to it, and the price is really great. So I went and looked for a bottle, and I got myself, this one here, if I can open it, hopefully. Sometimes these boxes, they just don't wanna, they just refuse to open. And this way works better. Okay. Let me see. It's a very simple box, just cardboard. And inside I will find this bottle. So the outside here are, I think, it might be plastic, might be coated plastic. There's the sprayer. Mukhallat Al Shams in the form of this 50 ml, I think, bottle. Okay. So much for this one. But we've already smelled it and I already know what it's like. So I also bought a second Ajmal, because this one was another one that came up as being recommended. So this one is called 1001 Nights. I think the Arab name is Laila Olail. Probably horrible pronunciation, so I apologize. But yeah, it's not just a tail, it's also now a fragrance. And this apparently, let me just get the noise out of the way. So both of these Ajmals, they are blends. They're not pure oud fragrances, they are a blend of components. This is apparently originally an oil that they later now released as an eau de parfum. And I got the eau de parfum concentration because personally I just prefer spraying my perfume rather than dabbing it, right? So this is the eau de parfum 60 mils. It comes in this sort of lamp style bottle. The cap is this whole piece. It's plastic. And then you have the sprayer here. You have the name here in Arabic and in English. And yeah, I'm very curious how this one is like. This came also recommended. And I was very impressed by Mukhallat Al Shams for the price. This also is quite affordable. I think this is around 40 to 50 bucks for 60 mil. Okay, average sprayer, nothing special. I think it's kind of a weird bottle, but it looks cool, it looks unique, so I can appreciate that. Let's get my nose on this. Okay, so it is very much definitely oudi, but when I compare it to Mukhallat Al Shams, this one is lighter in the oud. It doesn't feel quite as dirty. I get a lot more florally, almost soapy sweetness that is contrasted against that oud. So for sure there is the same Indian fermented fruity almost oud here. It's a lot less cheesy, it's more fruity, fermented fruits here. And you get the same thing, but it's a lot brighter, and I get a slight citrusy thing. I get some aldehydes maybe. I get white florals, I get rose, I get geranium, maybe even a tiny bit of lavender. It's brighter, right? There's a lot more going on. It's more colorful. The Mukhallat is just very straight up balsamic fermented oud. It also has some other touches, right? Some musks, some sandalwood, and maybe a hint of something floral as well. But this here is a lot more in that floral direction. It's sweeter as well. It's still really, really nice. It just has that sort of soapy quality that I didn't get at all with Mukhallat Al Shams. So this one actually will be a lot easier to wear and to get into. It's maybe even a bit more unisex. I mean, oud and unisex, that's always a hard discussion, right? Because it depends so much on your culture. But yeah, it's for sure has that sort of slightly barnyardy oud thing. But like I said, it's lighter here and it's mixed with more different other notes. So this came out, damn, I don't actually know when this one came out. I think the oil one is almost 30 years old now. Must be around the 2000 mark. This, the EDP, I don't know, it came out later, I think. It has notes of spices, smoke in the top, hard notes of floral notes and spicy notes, and base notes of woods and musks. So they don't tell you much. But it's true. It's not just floral stuff. There's also some spicy notes here and some incensey notes. So I'm getting probably some cardamom. That also helps, lend a bit of sweetness. There's maybe something nutmeggy in here. There's something, yeah, like I said, incensey, so benzoin, frankincense, slightly ambery. But really, I think the focus here is woods, musks, and floral notes. Those really are the three pillars. And when you take those that you also find in Mukhallat Al Shams, you just push them more towards the floral side and towards the musky side. You remove some of that sandalwoody thing. You remove some of that very heavy oudi thing. And you replace it with lighter, brighter floral notes. Some effervescence here even. And you give it a slightly soapy, aldehydic sort of quality. And what comes out is, again, a very nicely made fragrance. I find maybe my preference is slightly more towards the Mukhallat because it seems a bit more focused. But this one is probably a lot easier to take for many people, especially when you just get into it. And I think, well, the price is great. So if you want to just get into some Indian oud and you don't think you can take the full-on brunt of Mukhallat Al Shams, take this one for a ride first. See how you like it. I think this might even work a little bit better in maybe warm weather because it has that sort of clean aspect. Interesting. There is almost like a juiciness here. Really, because that fruitiness, that fermented fruitiness of the oud with the floral notes produce almost something slightly juicy and fizzy. I do get something fizzy. It might be the aldehyde. I almost get like a gingery feel here. So it has almost like a drink quality to it. But while I'm describing all of that, do keep in mind that there's still an oud in here. There's still a fermented barnyardy oud in the background. And depending on how sensitive you are to that, it might not even be in the background. It might be quite prominent for you. But yeah, this has a lot more other stuff going on. Whereas the Mukhallat Al Shams is just really focused on that Indian oud type of smell. Yeah. Yeah, it has this almost candy-like, lemonade-y, fizzy drink thing. Maybe even like a sweetened tea. Something slightly tea nuances. I get something vanillic in here as well now, which could be a benzoin thing or it could be actually vanilla. Definitely a much sweeter floral take on the Indian oud theme with those yeah, like I said, slightly soapy nuances contrasted against the dirtiness. Okay, yeah, I think this is successful. I think I'm glad I picked this one up because it might be a little bit more compatible to wear outside. When with the Mukhallat, I feel like I can't wear this in most places. I think this one is just special occasions, maybe at home. I've even successfully layered the Mukhallat with some rose fragrances. So while I'm not a huge proponent of layering, this one is so straight oud and so many bass notes that there's still room left for some other floral notes to come in and balance out the oudiness of this one. Okay, yeah, I just see there's the name. Okay, that should about do it for my Ajmal unboxing video and first impressions on 1001 Nights. Have you got your nose on this one? I think it's well worth smelling, and I wish you could more easily get a sample because this is a lot better than way more expensive oud fragrances, and it's way more authentic. So definitely something worth talking about. Well, that about does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, be safe, be kind to each other, and be kind to yourself. Bye bye.